right, we are going to start our art lesson today by looking at our fine art. Do you remember the name of this art, this piece of artwork? It is called The Girl with a Watering Can by Pierre-Auguste Renoir. And do you remember what kind of painter he was? He's an impressionist. So that means what he painted was not just very detailed, it was more of an impression of something. So we're going to look at some of that today. So look at this up in the girl's hair. What do you think that is? What does that give you the impression of? Do you think it's a bow? I think it is. What color is the bow? It is red. Now, do you remember last time we kind of looked at all the navy blue, how it showed us through the pictures, takes our eye. There's some blue up here. Where else do you see red? Where does it take your eye? Oh, here's some red. And the flowers, the impression of flowers. Can't really see that each petal, can you? But you see some red splotches, and it gives you the impression that there are flowers back there. Oh, and here's some red flowers up here. Let's look at her dress. What color is her dress? It is navy blue, just like her eyes. So it brings out her eyes, her boots. What is all along the front of her dress? Those are buttons. They're nice big buttons. So again, they're not perfect circles. They just give you the impression that there's a button there. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you think we are able to count all of the buttons? I don't think so, because I think some buttons are behind her watering can. Right? So here's one, and then the other one down here, and right there we can't see the buttons on her dress because it's behind the watering can. Do you see any other buttons in this picture? They're very small. And they're also on some clothing that is navy blue. There they are on the boots. Those are very little buttons. In fact, I don't know if I can count them that far back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you think there are 5 buttons on each of her boots? I think there are 2. Can we see the buttons on this boot? Nope. Is she wearing socks? What color are the socks? They are white. Oh, and where else do you see white? There. There. Does that look like lace on her dress? Gives me the impression of lace. It's on the front of her dress and around the bottom. Where else can you see some lace on her dress? On the cuffs, right. All right, now we are doing the color yellow this month. Can you see any yellow at all in this picture? I'll put it really close. See any yellow? Right there in the middle of the flowers that she's holding. There is some yellow. So we are going to make a yellow Y today. Now, when we do this in preschool, we always use paint, right? But I could not figure out a way to send paint to all of you without making a mess. So if you have some yellow paint at your house, absolutely get it out. And if your mom will let you, paint this Y yellow. If you don't have some yellow paint, there are some other options. So we can use a yellow crayon, right, to make this Y yellow. It's a big Y, so you're going to have to be patient. And we can just do it our kindergarten coloring way. I know you have a yellow crayon because I sent your boxes home with you. And, well, hopefully everyone still had a yellow crayon in there. So we can just keep filling it in. Now, what do we want to do our best kindergarten coloring? Right, we want to try and stay in the line. So when you get close to the line, you can go that way. And then in the middle, we want to fill in all the white spaces so it looks like a nice big yellow Y. Or maybe you have some markers at your house, and if your mom will let you use markers, that was another way you can color the Y yellow. I'm going to start over here. The same thing though, we want to do, can we do kindergarten coloring with markers? Of course we can. We do the same thing. Be careful when we get to the lines. Maybe just follow along the line like that. And then we can color the middle in and go a little bit more quickly. And we know when we get to the edge, we gotta slow down a little. Slow down and fill in all the white spaces. If we don't fill in the white spaces, it won't look like the nicest Y we can make, okay? Now, if you are lucky enough to have paint, we can do the same thing with paint. But, are we gonna follow the same rules? Yes, because if we don't stay inside the lines, then it won't look like a Y. And if we don't fill in all the white spaces, it won't be a yellow Y either. Like right now, is it a yellow Y? No, it's a Y with a couple of yellow things on the top of it. To make it a yellow Y, we will have to fill in all the white spaces. And if we go outside of the lines too much, it will change the shape and it won't be a Y anymore either. So here we go. Let's paint our yellow Y. Ooh. A paintbrush is a little bit harder to control than a pencil or a marker. But I'm going to leave those parts there. Pretty much I could paint over them. But I worked so hard on it, I don't want to. So there is the angle part on the top of uppercase Y. Now we're going to do the straight down part. Paint goes way faster than crayons or markers. But it is a little bit hard to control. So I'm going to do my very best. Oop, I went out a little bit. Just don't want to go out a lot, because if I go out a lot, then it won't be a Y anymore, right? I want to make sure I get all the white spaces filled in. All right, there is our yellow Y.